Why do the poor stay poor and the rich keep getting richer? This is because poor people don't know how to manage money to get richer. Poor people think that being rich means making more money. But this isn't the case. One must first become financially independent. One can't get richer until they have enough money to live on their own. Once a person has enough money to support themselves, making money takes care of itself. Henceforth, the person will only get richer and richer. Let us tell you that it's not easy to get out of the poor mindset. You'll have to stop believing in some things that you might think are true. We can't promise that you'll have immediate results, but you must persevere. All we can do is tell you about the top 10 mistakes poor people make with their money that make it impossible for them to get ahead financially. Now, let's get right into the video. Mistake number 1. Poor people spend more. Yes, this is the simple answer. Poor people spend more than people who have a lot of money. Surprise? But it's the truth. Let's say that person A earns $30,000 a year. Even though his income is not too low, he is still poor. A stays poor because of how he spends his money. If this person spends all of the money he makes, which is $29,500, he will always be poor. While another person, B, who makes the same amount as A, can pave his way to wealth. How? By saving more money. A has a savings rate of less than 2%, while most rich people save more than half of what they earn. Yes, saving this much money does make a person rich. Even though rich people spend several times more than poor people, they still save a bigger share of their income. When people save more money year after year, they can get richer every day. People who are poor or in the middle class don't often save much. First, we spend more than we should, and then to make up for this, we dig deeper into our small savings. Because of this, we have almost no savings left. Some people save more than 3%, but they end up spending even those small savings on things that aren't useful. All the hard work to save money has been for nothing. And if that wasn't enough, when our savings are gone, we start using credit cards. How many times have you used your credit card to buy a smartphone because you didn't have enough savings? Don't worry, this is how most of us are. This tendency to spend down our savings is a big reason why poor people are poor. It's important to think carefully about one's financial needs. Once we know how much money we need to save and spend in the right way. The key to getting rich is to stick to our budget no matter what happens. Mistake number 2. Poor people lack emergency planning. Rich people are better at handling emergencies than poor people. No one can know when an emergency will happen, but we can be ready. At least you can plan for the money. The rule of thumb is that you should have an emergency fund that can cover your bills for 3 months. People who are poor have a hard time dealing with emergencies because they don't have much money to set aside for them. At least, rich people plan for and keep life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance, and property insurance. This fund should be used to pay for any costs that insurance won't cover. Rich keep putting money into this account. Poor do not plan like this. In the end, when an emergency comes up, they have to eat their own savings. People stay poor because their savings are always going down. Mistake 3. They carry high debt. Rich people are often able to pay back their debts, but they would rather not borrow money. This is what rich people can teach poor people. Never take on debt if you want to be financially free. On average, a poor person pays back debt with 35 to 40% of their income. This number is much lower for the rich. When the poor takes out a loan, they spend more than they can afford. They use debt to buy things they can't. They use debt to pay things they can't pay for out of pocket. This is why everything on the market can now be bought with EMI. Everything is available on EMI, including cell phones, TVs, and furniture. But debt is not so good. When the desire to buy is strong, poor people choose to get a bank loan. But this is not the right way to manage needs. Plan and save for needs is a better choice. Debt makes it easy to buy things, but they are also expensive. The key is to think carefully about how much money you need. The more we plan, the less dependent we are on debt. Mistake number 4. Poor do not preach financial independence. Rich people keep getting more and more financially independent over time. On the other hand, poor people don't know what it means to be financially free. This is one big difference between the rich and the poor. Getting out of debt is the first step to getting rich. It's interesting to see how the rich handles their income and expenses. Rich people make money and use that money to build up their investments. The money from the investment portfolio is used to pay for everyday costs. On the other hand, a poor person spends most of his money before investing what's left, if anything. The path that a rich person takes makes sure that he can be financially independent as soon as possible. The best part is that a person who does not need to worry about money gets richer every day. Not only can he pay for more expenses like life's luxuries, but his personal assets go up in value. Mistake number 5. Poor people do not invest money. People with more money are better investors than people with less money. Rich people pay more attention to the market than poor people do. This really changes things. Let's look at a few things that make people who are poor bad investors. A. Rich people buy stocks when poor people sell them. When poor people buy stocks, rich people are selling them. B. Rich people buy stocks with solid fundamentals, while poor people blindly buy stocks. C. Rich people buy undervalued stocks. People who are poor don't know how to put a price on stocks. D. When a project starts, rich people put their money into real estate. Poor people don't have much money to buy second or third-hand homes, which are already expensive. E. People with a lot of money buy several properties to rent out. People who are poor can only afford to buy one home to live in. F. The rich often buy gold as a hedge against inflation. People who are poor only buy gold jewelry when there's a holiday. G. The rich keep as little free cash as possible. People who are poor put all of their money into a savings account. H. Rich people buy investments with money they won't need for the next 10 years. The poor buys investments but then loses them the following month. Mistake 6. They stop believing in themselves. They don't believe in themselves enough to do what they need to do to get ahead. And you can build up your sense of self-worth. You don't automatically have self-confidence, but it could also be something you lost along the way. Self-confidence really comes from being able to do things well or reaching certain goals along the way. The more goals you reach, whether it's going to the gym every day for 10 minutes or building a brand, the better you feel about yourself. Whatever you're able to do will help you feel better about yourself. Mistake number 7. They buy stuff they don't really need. They decided to buy a house instead of renting. Instead of running, jogging, or taking public transportation, they buy a car. Instead of keeping their iPhone 7, they buy the newest one. They're always buying things like brand name clothes, things for their house, things for their family, things for their kids, going out to parties and restaurants on weekends, etc. So, if you spend all your money on things you don't really need, you're making it harder for yourself to be successful. Because if you put money into something, you'll get your money back. It will make you money without you having to do anything. Mistake number 8. Poor people waste time. Time is precious. Everyone who has ever started a job has had to invest money and time. So if you already have a full-time job and want to start a side business in the evenings or on weekends, you have to put in a lot of hours. To make a living in that business, you have to use every waking hour you don't have to work, which means that every hour needs to be spent learning and doing the work and taking the steps you need to get where you want to go. Mistake number 9. They're busy but not productive. Being busy means you're just doing and worrying about things that don't give you what you need in the end. They don't sell you anything. They aren't really that important to help you reach your goal. Being productive, on the other hand, means that you know what tasks or actions are the most important for you right now, and you spend most of your time and energy on doing those important tasks with high business value. So every day, if you can figure out the top 3 most important things to do in your world, you will have a high level of productivity. That's a huge deal, because most people just go to work without a plan and start answering emails. They let the day run its course instead of taking charge of it. Mistake number 10. They're scared of failing in the eyes of people around them. This includes people that they don't really know all that well, people who just keep up with them on social media. So if you're afraid of failing in other people's eyes, you'll probably be afraid to do anything new that involves risk. And the truth is that there is no reward without risk. Any great or amazing person who has done anything that changed the world has taken a bigger risk to do it. Most of the time, the higher the reward, the higher the risk. Basically, you need to have the courage to do what your heart tells you to do. You need to be willing to take that leap or step without worrying about how other people will see you if you fail. You can't pay attention to your B plan. You have to keep your attention on your A plan and just do it. Don't think or worry about what people around you or on your social media will think. And yes, there will be people who don't like you. Everyone has haters, and so will you. More often than not, the more different you are and the more you change the world, the more people will hate you and try to stop you. It's just how life and society are. So, what do you think about these 10 mistakes that poor people make with their money? Share with us in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share with your friends so we can keep making videos like this. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.